Hello. I think we're here. All right. I forgot to put it in the Discord like an hour ago, so I only just put it in. So maybe people need a moment to realize that I'm live. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But we're just gonna get started on some signs. So just give me a second here. Hello, Tony. Welcome to the stream. Just yeah, give me 1 second while I'm checking. Yeah, okay. There are people here. I mean, I know that because there's someone in chat. I'm on time for once. Yeah, I announced the stream like an hour ahead of time for once. I could have done it earlier, but I was distracted. I was working, so it's not a bad distraction. I shouldn't be doing live stream preparation stuff during work anyway. So, but yeah, let's get started. Boop. Is everything working? Everything's working. Fantastic. My microphone is being eaten up by my green screen thing. That's fine. Who needs that thing anyway? It's kind of interesting how it's half there. Usually it eats up the entire thing. Curious. Very, very curious. So, we are in the sign place. Off camera, I have done some work on this sign. I've made the thing 3D. I think I've mentioned at some point that that's a thing that I wanted to do. So that's a thing now. That's looking decent. And yeah, I just used the ones from the signs that we've already built and slightly customized them so that they don't stick out the sides of the thing that's sticking out. And I'm happy with that. So just need to do the rest, but I don't want to do these signs on stream because they're kind of boring. So we're gonna do at least the Gordon Gazelle sign, and I think it would be fun to do maybe the elephant ones. We'll see about that, but let's first do the Gordon Gazelle. So we need to get some orange. It's oh, we can actually steal it from the battered fox, I guess. The one's close by. Yes. So, how is everyone doing? Did everyone in the Netherlands enjoy the last weekend? We had a nice long weekend here because it was Liberation Day, and I actually never knew that this was a thing until now. It just never occurred to me, I guess. But once every 5 years, Liberation Day is a day off. I don't know why it's only once every 5 years. Who came up with this? It's so strange, but that's apparently a thing. So we had an extra day off on Monday. That was nice. Was Liberation here too? Nice. But yeah, so we had an extra day off. So I used that to go to the zoo. Not just any zoo, too many zoos. So here's the thing. It's once every 5 years. And apparently the upcoming 5 years, it's going to be, it's the wrong animal. The upcoming 5 years, it's going to be in the weekend. So basically you're not going to have a day off because it will be a weekend day. So my sister said, you know, this year, more than any, you really need to make sure you use this day and do something good with it, do something nice with it. So I said to myself, like, okay, I'm going to go to Cologne because I've been meaning to go back to the Zoo of Cologne for a while now. Because when I first went to Cologne, I made the mistake of, this one. Mistake. So when I went to Cologne for the first time, which is it's over 2 years ago. That was actually my very first zoo trip. So that's a fun little fact right there. And the reason I did it was because I got a discounted ticket that I just bought somewhere. And I was like, oh, then I'll go to Cologne with this discounted ticket. And then when it was about to expire, which was in like February, I was like, oh, I'm going to have to go now. Because otherwise it's going to expire. It's going to be a waste. So, yeah, I went to Cologne in February of 2023. because otherwise my ticket would have expired and it would have been a waste of money. And I had a great time there. It was a beautiful zoo, but it was February, so ever since then, the footage I had of that trip, which was, by the way, the first time for me using my GoPro. Like, I bought my GoPro specifically for that trip, so I would get nice footage of the zoos. Which eventually that also turned into the real life inspiration videos, because shortly after that my computer broke and all I had was my zoo footage. So so many things came from that. But yeah, ever since I went there, both Cologne and everything else I went to on that trip, I only had the winter footage. So I've been meaning to go back to Cologne and Duisburg specifically for the longest time to get some summer or at least spring footage. So that's what I did this weekend. I went to Duisburg and I went to Cologne. My plan was to go on both the Sunday and the Monday. Monday was the day off. Because on the Saturday I had made plans with a friend to hang out. Actually, a friend I haven't really hung out with in a very long time, so I was looking forward to doing that. But then the morning of Saturday, he called me, he texted me that he was sick. And I was like, well, if you're sick, then I'm going to Germany. So I checked, and it was not a lady friend, no. But yeah, so he texted me, I'm sick. I thought, okay, well, if you're sick, I was kind of, okay, I just said I was looking forward to it, so this statement is not entirely true, but I was half regretting making those plans, because I was like, oh, if I didn't make those plans, I could have gone to the zoo 3 days in a row and make it like a long weekend trip to Germany. But yeah, then he called in sick, so I could still do that anyway. So that's what I did. I just booked an extra day in a hotel in between Duisburg and Gelsenkirchen. And I went to Gelsenkirchen as well. So yeah, it was Duisburg on Saturday, Gelsenkirchen, Zoom Erlebniswelt on Sunday, and then on Monday I went to Cologne. And I'm really happy I did it in that particular order, to be honest, because on Saturday the weather was really great. I had such amazing weather in Duisburg. I really got to see some amazing things. Hello, Pezek. Life's pretty good. So yeah, in Duisburg I got to see some really amazing things. I can show it actually. This is for an upcoming story. Like this. Look at the boy. Oh my god. So yeah, I got to see that. So that was really, really amazing. I did not expect to see that when I set out to go to the zoo. But yeah, just an active echidna. Cologne on the Monday was the best choice ever. Closer during the weekend is horrible. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's usually the case for a lot of places. So we need to. I don't know how I'm gonna do. Oh no. But yeah, so when I was in Duisburg, it was like dry most of the day, and then at the end of the day it started to rain ever so slightly, but not to a degree that ruined the day or anything. And I was able to hide out in the aquarium or the dolphinarium area during the dolphin show, which I didn't intend to watch because I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of those for obvious reasons. But it was fine, and it was a good way to wait out the rain. And then after that it became dry again and clearer. And the next day in Gelsenkirchen it also rained ever so slightly, but also only at the start of the day. So after I got through like the first bit of the North America section there. It also cleared up, and I was able to just enjoy the rest of my day without any issue. Okay, now I need to figure out something for this. And I think we got it, actually. Because I think if I do this, and... Okay, maybe not exactly. Wait. Almost. We've almost got it. This is an annoying shape to do. I think this is gonna be the best that I can really do. Yeah, unless we do, of course, we can just do this. I never saw the aardvark in Bergsea. I've seen them frequently, but they're always like sleeping, and I've seen them active once, but they're usually sleeping in the back. The ones in Cologne were too. Oh, they're sleeping in the front because they have a little shelter at the front of the thing, which is a smart thing to do because that makes it much more likely to see them. But yeah, so that was my weekend basically. So in Gelsenkirchen was also amazing. Like there I saw this little fella. I'll just have this running over here. That was also amazing. It was the Slender Loris. And they were pretty, like they have two of them. At least maybe they have more. I saw two of them. They were both being really active, walking around and such. So that was also really awesome. So it was just a weekend full of seeing really cool animals, to be honest. Alright, now I need to figure out... These are being... I don't know why these are being so tough. But yeah, the only result of that weekend was that I was a little bit short on... Oops. A little bit short on time in terms of YouTube stuff. I'm also still preparing my holiday, which is coming up pretty soon. So I need to stack up on videos so that I have stuff to upload while I'm away. So that was a little bit of a thing. But I'm almost good in that regard. So nothing too dramatic there. Oh wait, we're on the world axis. Oops. Yeah, no, that just won't do. I have to do it like this again. But then, wait, okay. We almost got it. If we do it like this, then we might be okay. Like that's good enough, right? Like if we take that up, yeah, that part is not the cleanest, but it'll do. Only ever saw aardvark when Antwerp had a night house. I also saw them in the night house in Berlin really well. They were definitely walking around a lot more than usually in there, yeah. So I can see that. Alright, so now the difficulty becomes picking a color that is accurate. Hey Goran, back from a 2-day wildlife trip. Ooh, that's fun. Where did you go? What kind of wildlife did you see? You got the pet aardvark. Wow. That's pretty cool. Okay, wait. I feel like I should like do my little color thingy because I can't tell what I'm doing here. I also feel like we might have to change the way we're doing things here. But that's fine. But yeah, so Zuma Lebenswelt was really fun as well. Saw a bunch of cool stuff there. Although I will say, after visiting, like now that I've visited the Zoo of Hanover, Zuma Lebenswelt felt a little bit underwhelming comparatively. So that is not necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed Zuma Lebenswelt less last year before I had been to Hanover, which is interesting. It felt a lot more impressive back then. I went to Manila Zoo. I've not heard of that one. Okay, let's do the eyes. I was in a country park. Alright. Sadness for the small tiger habitats, yeah. That doesn't sound too great. Okay. Peer David. Oh, when I was at Beeksbergen last, they had a baby Peer Davids there, as well as a baby. Oh no, someone's drilling. Someone's drilling really close to my house. I'm so sorry. Let's hope it doesn't last too long. I can't help this. It already stopped, so let's hope that they're done. That would be some really quick drilling. I had to do some drilling recently as well, though, so I can't complain. I've been quite the nuisance to the building with my big project. Like I shared that in a previous live stream, I think, that I was working on my Lego storage. It's behind me right now. Oh, apparently if I do this, you can see part of it. Oh, look, there it is. But that actually also has another funny story behind it. So I was talking about that when I was doing it. Wait, what's this? Is it the eye? What's causing this? Come on. Just click it. Just click it. It looks like it's the eye. But why is it not letting me select it? This is so... There we go. Yeah, it's the eye. Okay. And so I was saying how I was trying not to make it be a Matt and Pat episode or a Buurman and Buurman situation. But that is definitely something that happened. I was not being the most well thought out, well organized DIYer. So, and it's these projects that kind of evolve that really create these kinds of issues, right? So, I've got a series of photos here. So this is where we kind of left it in the last stream. I think I showed either this exact photo or or a similar one, where I have all of these IKEA cabinets. Actually, this is not the one I showed. This is not the one I showed because I had improved it. I had put the legs on already at that point. But I basically realized after I built that thing that wouldn't it be cool, I pressed the wrong button, wouldn't it be cool if it had a little like tabletop thing on top of it to kind of really make it look like one big piece of furniture, really tie it all together. And these kind of afterthought ideas are often really good, right? Because you're iterating, you're improving on what you've created. But you do need to think about how you approach such a thing and not make any rash decisions. And that's where I kind of went wrong, because there was a discount at the place where you buy stuff like this, which is the best word I don't know which store I can compare the store I went to. It was a Praxis, which I want to say is like a Home Depot, but honestly, I actually don't know what a Home Depot like sells. Is it similar to like a Praxis? Do you buy like pieces of wood, or do they sell like more completed products like an IKEA does? I don't know. I don't know anything about Home Depot. But yeah, at the Praxis they had a really nice tabletop blade thing, whatever you want to call it, plank. Let's just call it a plank. It was a big old plank. And it had a hardware store. I guess it's a hardware store. Thank you. Is Home Depot a hardware store? Probably not. So anyway, they had this plank. It had a burnt wood texture on it. It looked pretty neat. It was kind of what I was looking for. It was exactly what I was looking for. What am I saying? So I wanted it, or at least I was considering getting it, but there were two issues. I didn't know how I was going to transport it. I had some ideas, but not any concrete ones. And I didn't know if they would be able to cut it into the shape that I would want. Because, as you can see on the picture, the cabinets have this kind of L shape, ever so slightly. So I would have liked the tabletop to have the same shape, but I was already experimenting with these pieces of wood that I had lying around, that a rectangle shape would also work pretty well. So I would have settled for that as well. I decided at that moment. But yeah, I didn't know for sure if I wanted to buy it without knowing these things, right? But that was the issue. There was a discount going on that week only, and it was Sunday evening when I was making these decisions. Bad idea. So my mom said, I called my mom to, well, not necessarily ask her this specific question, but just to, in general, talk about things, and this is one of the things that was on my mind. And my mom just said, like, yeah, well, if you want to buy it, you need to do it now, because now it's on discount. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll buy it. So I bought the thing without really having any plan on how to deal with said thing. And I figured, okay, next day I'll go to the store. My car has to go to the garage that day, but the plank probably wouldn't fit in my car anyway, so who cares? I'll figure something else out. And I'll ask them if they can cut it into the L shape, and if they can't, I'll just settle for the rectangle shape. So whatever. It's fine. So the next day comes. I go to the hardware store, and I pick up my plank. I go there on my bike, by the way, because my idea was I will take the plank, I will balance it on my bike, and I'll just walk home. Because while I don't live close to the hardware store, it's also not that far, so it's like feasible to walk home from there. So that's what I was planning to do. just walk home with the plank, the big old plank. This plank, by the way, it's more than 3 meters long, and I cut it to be 60 centimeters wide. So, hey, elephant puppet. So you'd think, you know, you have a bike, you can balance it on the bike, you walk it home. But now we get to the Matt and Pat and Matt, whatever, Buurman and Buurman episode stuff. Because obviously these types of things just can't go right. That just doesn't happen. So I start trying to put it on my bike, which is already a challenge, but I manage, but it falls off a little bit. You should have put wheels on it and drive the plank home. Yes. No, okay, so what I should have done right there at the store is either be like, hey, I don't know how to take this home. Can you keep the plank for a little longer while I make a plan for it? Or ask the store, because they have these carts. So I should have asked the store, hey, can I borrow one of these carts? I'll bring it back in 2 hours. Because it would be like a 1 hour walk home and a 1 hour walk back with the cart. That would have been the correct thing to do. But no, I went with planned bike. So a person on the parking lot saw me struggling putting this thing on my bike. And he said, do you need help like getting on? I can like hold the plank while you ride away. I'm like, ride away? No. I'm not riding anywhere with this thing. I'm walking home. I'm walking. So he's like, okay, fine. I'll help you get it onto your bike, and then you can walk. You crazy person. So he helps me get it on, and it's fine. I start walking. It seems to be going okay. But the moment I leave the parking lot, I get hit with a gust of wind, and I just have to try even harder than I was already doing to balance this bike and to keep it, or to balance this plank and keep it on my bike and such. So it's just not working out how I hoped. Which, in hindsight, was to be expected, to be honest, let's be real. But yeah, so I power through. At that point, any sane person would have turned around. But no, I was too determined to just get this thing to my house. So I just power through. I start walking down the road. And eventually it just keeps sliding off. It's just, oh, there's the drill again. I feel like this is karma for all the drilling I did without giving anyone any notice. Because in my head I'm like, oh wow, it would have been really nice if my neighbors would have told me they were going to drill. But then I realized that I also didn't do that. So honestly, I have no grounds to complain about this. So that's just on me, I guess. But yeah, so eventually a man and a lady see me walking with my plank, struggling to get by. And I'm so thankful that, I don't know why they would, but I'm so thankful that they did. They actually offered to help me carry the plank, because they were heading in the same direction I was. So they were thinking, you know, we can help you carry the thing until we get to where we need to go, which was like a tram stop. And then they needed to get off, and it's like, okay, whatever. Yeah, thank you so much, so much. So they start helping me carry my plank, and the lady carries my bike while the husband carries the plank with me. So we're just holding the plank, going along, like 1.5 kilometers or so, taking this plank, which is just absolutely insane. Until we take some breaks every now and then, because this thing is freaking heavy as shit. And eventually we do make it to the tram stop. They have to go, and I'm left having to figure out what am I gonna do now? I also need to think, wait, is it just me or... Yeah, I definitely ruined the shape of this thing a little bit. Yeah, I need to come up with a new plan, because clearly this wasn't working. But I was just absolutely not knowing what the hell, like what other options do I even have? Like, how am I gonna get this thing home? Like, with 2 persons, we barely scraped by. So I'm thinking, okay, there's another store close here that has like those kind of carts that I could borrow and use to carry the plank. That could work, but I don't know. It's a little shady taking a random store's cart to carry your plank home. So I don't know. I didn't really feel like doing that. So instead, I just decided, you know, let's see how well I fare. So I pick up the plank, I shuffle over across the road, kind of hoping that the couple who helped me carry it doesn't see me, because that would be a little embarrassing if I'm suddenly carrying this plank on my own. I don't know why I thought that was embarrassing, I just did. And so I shuffle across the road and I start carrying this plank on my own. I don't know, for the life of me, how I managed to do that. But I did. I actually got like, I don't know, 700 meters or so. I carried that thing until I just couldn't anymore. I was just so freaking exhausted from carrying this thing. Actually, I need to... whatever. Let's just keep that. So yeah, I was just absolutely exhausted. I just couldn't go any further. So at that point, after like 700 meters of carrying this thing on my own, I gave up and I decided, okay, fine, I'll go to that other store and take one of their carts, because clearly I'm not gonna come home if I don't. So I went to this other store, I took one of the carts, very casually walked to the exit, like walked out of the parking garage with the cart, walked onto the road with the cart, just hoping that no one would stop me, and no one did. So I'm out, I'm scot-free. I go back to my plank, which I just ditched on the side of a road, like not the nice side facing the road, just to hide it a little bit. Not that anyone would ever bother to steal this thing, because it's way too fucking heavy for that. But yeah, I come back to my plank, I take it, I put it on the cart, it actually fits, thank God it fits. And I'm able to, with relative ease, walk it home. And you think that's where like the trials, like at this point I'm celebrating my victory. I'm putting photos in like WhatsApp groups with my colleagues and with my friends. I'm sending them photos of me carrying this plank. Thank you, neighbors. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm at this point I'm celebrating my victory, because I'm like, hell yeah, I did it. I'm carrying the plank. I'm getting it home. And yes, I did get it home. I did get it to my apartment complex with relative ease. But I forgot about one potential caveat, which is that it's a 3-meter long plank, for fuck's sake. How is that gonna fit in the elevator? Answer is it didn't. It did not fit in the elevator. So that was the next issue. I don't really like it, but it's good enough. So yeah, I'm now stuck at the bottom of the stairs, thinking to myself, how am I gonna get this thing up the stairs? There's no freaking way. So a couple people spot me, you mostly elderly, which definitely can't help carry this thing up the stairs. But luckily, after a little bit, once again, I actually just give up waiting on people and just start carrying this thing up the stairs with risking my own life, basically, because if that goes wrong, that definitely goes very wrong. But eventually, after I'm almost up the first set of stairs, somebody notices me and is like, shouldn't you be taking the elevator? I'm like, I can't. It doesn't fit. I don't know. I don't know where people are leaving. That's fine. I'm just telling my plank story. So eventually, these people, they, thank God, once again, they start helping me out. So they start helping me carry my plank up the stairs. And eventually we do make it all the way up there. All right, I'm pretty satisfied with this. So I still need to give them, I have a box of chocolates in my fridge. I've rang their doorbell like 3 times already because I want to hand them the box of chocolate and not just dump it in their mailbox. But maybe I should just dump it in the mailbox. So yeah, that's the plank story. That's how I got it into my house. It did fall, so here it is. Here's the plank. It did fall off my bike once, that's why it has a little bit of a battle scar there. I used a permanent marker to paint all the blemishes on the plank black again, so it looks pretty nice. That's the true DIY solutions, right? We've got some redneck engineering here. But, I mean, it looks really good, right? Like, it was worth the effort. This looks sexy as hell. And then later I got a colleague to, this is also the Lego storage, taking form, taking shape. And then later I got a colleague to help me drill some holes in the walls. So now I got these shelves, I got my whiteboards on the wall, so everything's taken shape real nicely. I'm really happy with how things are coming along. But that took a bit of my time as well last week. So that's how life has been going. But I'm really happy. And I feel like with all the things that I've hung on the walls now and stuff, my room is also turning a bit less echoey, which is also a good thing for like videos and stuff. So I'm really happy with that. Oh, these guys are not in a breeding program? That's interesting. But yeah, that's basically the plank story. And a day after delivering, like the day after or a few days after this whole debacle, I was getting a little bit curious about the weight of this plank. So I went back on the website of the hardware store and I calculated, because I did saw off part of it. So I calculated the resulting weight. And it was 44. No? Wait, was it 44 or 34? Now I forget. Crap. Oh, my throat is getting a little... My throat has been really dry all day. I almost didn't want to stream because of it. But I really wanted to stream. I want to do more streams in general. And I constantly find reasons not to. But let's see. Oh, why do I talk so much to Eben? Now I can't find the thing. Oh, I think I'm almost. Oh, wait. Oh, my throat's getting extra dry. I mean, talking isn't helping. Why can I not find this? It shouldn't be. Oh, wait. Yeah, there it is. Okay, yes, it was 44. 44 kilos. The weight of this plank. So I don't know how I actually managed to carry that thing so far on my own. But I can definitely tell you my arms hurt like hell for an entire week. So that was something. But yeah, there's our goitered gazelle sign. I'm still not very happy with that part, but it is what it is. Hey, T-Rex. I'll start my game and build now. Got some build up by Goron, so actually pushing my build a bit further. That's nice. Secret Goron sleeper build. Ooh. Anyway, the Manila Zoo has some zebra donkey hybrids in their plains exhibit. That's interesting. I'm gonna go back to some messages from when I was telling my story. My favorite Great Apes complex. Well, that has to be the one in Leipzig, right? Like, there's no competition there. Let's see. Let's copy this one. There we go. Goitered gazelle, done. Let's put them side by side just for a sec. Yeah, it's not the best, but it's not bad either. I'm pretty happy with it. Singapore baboon habitat is amazing. I don't doubt that. Yeah, let's do this one. Just a tiny... Actually, we could probably steal something to make our life a little easier, if I can find it. Yeah, there it is. We actually have built this symbol before. I don't think we have the ungrouped versions of these signs anywhere anymore, though. It's the only pity. Right, there we go. So we're just gonna delete everything but that little icon. Then we can use that to build the sign. Hello? Oh. Okay, I think this is all... Oh, these aren't... I think all of this is part of it, so... Let's put it in there. Bam! Slide it in there. To be appear, Davis ears are less exciting than the story. My carrying stuff up the stairs. Your own story didn't go that well. My new terrarium got delivered and I was holding the box upstairs. I dropped it. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that is my next fear. Like, I need to make sure that our elevators are working whenever I'm gonna buy a new terrarium, which will happen at some point. I am planning on buying a new terrarium. I want to say soon, but honestly there's quite a few things I'm saving up money for, so I should wait with the less essential things like a terrarium. Hello, okay. Why? There we go. Yeah, that's an expensive drop indeed. What did I miss? You missed the plank story, and we made a goitered gazelle sign. But nothing too bad. Boop, boop, boop. So I know that this sign is at least in one part of the zoo. It's at the Lemur Island, but I feel like it's also in a different spot. But I'm not sure about that. Why am I smelling shampoo? That's weird. I don't shower. No, it's not my shampoo that I'm smelling, and my windows are closed, so I'm not sure where this smell is coming from. At least I have habitat inspo if we got the Pierre Davis deer. Oh, I would like that. Honestly, so the next video I'm going to be working on, which is not the next video that's going to be released, because I'm stockpiling a little bit for my holiday. But I'm going to start gathering footage for red deer in a moment. That'll be the last video I make before I go on my holiday. And it... I'm like, wait, what? Did it say? Yeah, dick. I'm a fucking child. What was I saying? Oh yeah, red deer. So, part of me wants to like maybe. I'm wondering if I should include any other deer or not. I don't want to, because where do you draw the line? You know. It'll become too bloated with other species. And they're all like gonna be like, okay, which species do you include when it comes to deer and which you don't? But more importantly, all the habitats are just gonna be the same, basically. So there's not really a point to including other species. Like one of the upcoming videos as well is going to be capuchin monkey. There I really wanted to include other zoos as well, because it actually added something. Because the just the zoos that have capuchin monkeys, you only have 3 examples, which isn't a lot. And the other species, there was actually some really inspiring stuff in there that I really wanted to include. So it made sense to include more than just the Colombian white-faced capuchin monkey. Same thing when I do the striped hyena, I want to add other species of hyena as well. Although that's twofold. That's both giving more inspiration stuff, but that's also just me wanting to brag about the fact that I've seen other species of hyenas that are rare. But that will happen. I'll do that after I come back from Czechia, and I will have seen a bunch of these other species. Okay, British flag. Always a bit of a pain to build, to be honest. I shouldn't have deleted the other one, to be honest. Because now it's also going to be like, oh, why does this sign have a different Union Jack than the other ones? But they're also kind of hard to copy around between the two, so like between signs. Alright, so let's just get darker blue. And that will do. Good enough. I saw red deer follow there. Red deer and follow deer there too. It's quite a sentence. Alright, let's put it on the sign. Yeah. Good enough, Union Jack. And yeah, this sign's it's not really worth making a keeping one separate or not. That doesn't really matter. So second sign done for today. That's nice. And we've only been streaming for an hour. How amazing. So I think the next one I kind of want to do is the bee one. A bee? I really quite like this one. So I think what I will do is let's take this up. Oh. Boop. Let's get it up to there. And then we need to get which color? I guess this color? Yeah, I guess. There we go. Hello, Penguin Boy. Welcome. And now this is interesting and kind of problematic, to be honest. I didn't realize that it was the way it is. That means... Okay, wait, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna make this like, I don't know, whatever is a good background color for that. And we're gonna just take, that also doesn't work, damn. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do then, if that's the case, we'll take this, let's get the right color. And what have you planned for the terrarium you're talking about? Oh, just more crabs. I'm the crab man. I really like my crabs. They're almost dead, which of age, I should clarify. I have not had any breeding success, so there's no babies to have taken the place of the adults. So yeah, I think I only have one left, unless there's another one that's hiding somewhere. So, and I don't think he's too long for this world. I've had them for over a year and a half now, and they only get to be like 2 years old, and I don't know how old they were when I got them, so most of them have already died, and I'm guessing the next one is, yeah, his turn's probably soon. Also, vampire crabs. I have some I have one vampire crab. I used to have multiple. But yeah, I really like them. They're pretty low maintenance. You can make really nice paludariums for them, which I really enjoy the look of. So I would like to get more crabs, but I would like to, now that I have the room for it, now that I have my own house, get a really nice large terrarium where I can make a really nice back wall with lots of plants and larger plants as well. Really make it eye-catching, and yeah, have lots and lots of crabs in there. Just really get a nice large stock of them. So that's my plan. But yeah, it's a future plan. First, I need to figure out a bunch of other stuff, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, the short lifespan is not an issue if you can get them to breed, but I mean, I only had a couple of individuals because my terrariums weren't that big. So, and especially one of the females did die a little early, for could be for all sorts of reasons. So yeah, that's just how it goes. I guess the less crabs you have, the less likely they are to breed as well. So yeah. Oh my god, please, just make it end. It's almost... Oh wait, I messed up. We need to... Yeah, stop right there. Flip it. In 1 hour they're not allowed to drill anymore. But that means that this can go on for another hour. I'm just wondering what are they doing that's causing them to have to drill so infrequently? Like when I did my drilling, I made sure I had everything planned out. I had a colleague come help me out, like holding the vacuum. And yeah, we were done in like, oh, I pressed the wrong button. We were done in like, I don't know, less than half an hour. Because I had all my holes drawn out. So all we had to go was go, get everything, and we're done. One, two, three. I feel like they might not have the right kind of drill. That would be my guess. Because you need, for these kinds of walls, you need a specific kind of drill. Because we have very tough walls in this building. I would almost send them a message and be like, hey, if you need a drill. But I'm not sure if it's my neighbors. If it's my neighbors, I have their phone number. But if it's someone else, then yeah, I can't help them. But it looks like it sounds like they're struggling to get into the wall. Makes me curious if someone has excited for and now to have drills. We love them drills. Drill baby drill. No, but I'm curious if no one has sent a message. I was wondering if anyone's like, hey, does anyone have the proper drill? And I can be like, I do. I'm a real. The other day I got a message from someone from the homeowners association, basically, who was like, oh wow, I really love how helpful you're being to your fellow flatmates. I'm like, yeah, well, it's not a big deal. I just borrowed an HDMI cable to someone, and I borrowed a ladder to someone. It's like if someone asks in the WhatsApp group of the building, does anyone have blank, and I have blank, then I'm not gonna say no. It's like, oh, I didn't realize this thing was not aligned with the thing. Yeah, I think that'll do. Let's get it up in there. Alright, so now... Oh, I didn't realize that I was an idiot. Okay, wait. Let's do that. There we go. So now, what we can do, theoretically, is put this into the thing, and we're gonna rotate it slightly, and take it out like this. Let's do like this, actually. And then we'll take this one, flip it 180 degrees, and put that all the way in as well. There we go. And now it takes up less space. Hey T-Rex. I didn't realize it was you who joined. I'm sorry, I wasn't reading. I was only reading the messages, not the usernames. I feel bad. But yeah, that is that done. I kind of feel like I should do these differently, like this. There we go. But yeah, kind of concluding the plank story, I am really happy that I've started really doing these kinds of projects that are really making my home. Like I'm finally really finishing certain rooms, like my study room now, which is a really good feeling. Like it really makes me feel like I'm at home, which is a really good thing. Was that an important buzz? No, it was not. So now we need to figure out how to make a bee, make two bees. And I don't know how I would make, like this would be a really annoying thing to build, is my issue at the moment. But let's see if we can do something. So something we could try at least is to get, let's get a wood-like collar and get it on there. And then after that we can try to make the bees. Alright, we just have to free build this a little bit. And there we go. That'll do. That'll do just fine. And now if we just take a comma, I really want this running. This is just, it's so loud. It has to be my neighbors, or like above or below me or something. Yeah, it's gonna be a really nice stream to rewatch for others. You know, really true quality right here. Yeah. No. They are not getting through this wall. They are having so much struggle. It does not sound like they're using the right drill. Just let it happen. I mean, I would offer them the correct drill. Like I said, it's just that I don't know who they are. Alright, now the only thing... that's bothering me now is that... so we got the thing that we want basically, but we need the front facade. These backgrounds are more of a challenge than anything else to make. Alright, that's pretty good. And now we can add some holes. Oh. But it's not supposed to... it's not supposed to take that long to drill a hole. At least for me it didn't take that long. So, these poor people. They must be feeling really bad. At least I would. I don't like bothering my neighbors. I know that some people are very indifferent to that type of thing. But oh well. I'm genuinely asking, I'm on the verge of just asking, maybe in the group's chat, like, to whoever's drilling, do you need a better drill? I could. Because this is just gonna keep, they're just gonna keep trying, I feel like. I mean, before I had a good drill, I was doing the same thing. Can't really blame him. Sometimes you just need a hole. And no poor drill is going to stand in your way. Alright. So we've got one layer of logs, I guess. Let's get this, and I guess do something like this. You can see, I feel like you can see me like dying inside from all this. Like actively. Just a live feed of my soul escaping my body. I feel like I'm gonna stop streaming at this point because it's just I'm not having a good time. You're not having a good time. I think I'm just gonna end it, and I'll finish this tonight, and in the next science stream, if I haven't already finished everything, we'll work on some of the more fun signs, like the Hyena Creek and the elephant stuff. Maybe use birds. That's not gonna be a fun one, to be honest, but yeah. I'm just gonna end it here, because this is just fucking annoying. So, sorry for my neighbors, but we're ending it. Bye-bye.